We covered 7 states in the year of 30s. From the 30s back, we covered 7 states. And we were a powerful nation. And some of our people were filthy rich. You know, they had big plantations, farms. I know John Ross, he was our chief, and he come from northern Georgia. And he had a big, large plantation. And he had a lot of money to go with it. But when the Federal Army come in and gathered up the people in 1830, probably 1834, 35, and they started building stockades to put the Cherokee people in to hold them until the removal took place. See, the non-Indians come in here, the settlers come in here, and they needed the land and wanted the land. And the only way they'd get the land is to drive the Cherokee people west so they'd have the land here. And that's the reason for us being driven out of native land. And the homes were taken. It was a terrible thing because a lot of the homes that we had here burned. They were burned, and the cornfields were plowed up, ruined. So many things like that happened. It's not good, but yet it's there. You know, it's got to be there. It's there. A lot of murder, a lot of killing, a lot of raping took place back in those days, and everything was forced upon. So anyway, before the removal, we had a man by the name of Junaluska. He wasn't a chief, he was just a leader. And Andrew Jackson was a colonel in the Federal Army. And they were fighting Indians down in Mississippi, the Creek Indians. And the Creek Indians were getting the best of Andrew Jackson's battalion, his army. And he sent word up here to Cherokee to Junaluska. He said, Junaluska, I need your help. He said, they have me captured down here, Creek Indians. And he said, send your warriors down and release me. So Junaluska rounded up 700 warriors. And they left here. They went to Mississippi. And they fought off the Creeks. And they freed Andrew Jackson. Well, Andrew returned back to Washington, and he ran for president, and he won in about 1828, I think it was, when he won. Well, that's when he had power then, and he gathered up all the Cherokee people, and again, put them in stockades to hold them, until 1838 rolled up, and that's when they started driving them to the west, driving them out of here. And it was in the year of October. But before the drive, Junaluska found out that we were going to be moved, and people didn't want to move. They didn't want to move from their homes. So Junaluska said, I'll put a stop to this, because he said, I know Andrew Jackson, and I know him well. He's a good friend of mine. And Junaluska had saved his life, got him free from the Creek Indians. And so he said, I'll go to Washington and visit with him, and we'll talk about it. And he said, I'll put a stop to this driving us out of here. Well, when he arrived in Washington, Andrew didn't know him. Andrew slammed the door in his face and said, you get out of here. And so that put an end to that, and the drive took place. Well, Junaluska said, I should have finished him off myself, because he said I had a chance to finish him off there. But he said, I thought he was a good friend of mine, so that's the reason he helped him and saved his life. After he'd saved his life, then Andrew turned on him for no reason at all. So the drive took place, and 4,000 Cherokee people died on the Trail of Tears from here to Oklahoma. They started from Chattanooga, the main trail did. And anyway, 20,000 were driven from here. That's a lot of people, 20,000 in a group. So anyway, those lot of little babies and elderly people and sick people that were sick, they were driven out. And it was in the cold of the winter. It was like in October when they started to drive, and they drove them up to Ohio River and all the way to the headwaters of the Ohio and the Mississippi River where they crossed. And anyway, there was a few now. There weren't many people. They hid out in the Big Cove area back in this. Those that hid out had to be hid for, probably had to stay out and hid out for maybe a year or two. And till things kind of cooled off here. And then later they were allowed to come out of their hiding. But they didn't have any land when they came out. The land was taken.